Hi folks, Matthew here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So a theme that you'll often hear from Lib Dems these days is that we don't get the representation that we should. We don't get featured as often as we should in the media today. And, this is something that I agree with. I think as the largest third-party force in the House of Commons for more than a century, we should absolutely be getting more coverage than we are. But are we, the Lib Dems ourselves, partly to blame for the fact that we're not getting the coverage that we should be getting? Now, the reason that I asked this comes from a tweet that Peter Cardwell from Talk TV put out. My friend Peter Cardwell. We don't agree on very much, but that's why it's always fun when I appear on his show on Talk TV, because we have a good debate, often a very robust debate, but we absolutely remain friends because that's the way it should be in politics. It's not ever personal. And I absolutely trust Peter Cardwell when he put out a tweet yesterday, and it's something that he's told me in private, and in actual fact he told me and my podcast co-host Chris Newton about this when he was on, when he very graciously came on our pod, Political Frenemies, a while back. And so this is a tweet. He was responding to someone else yesterday on Twitter, but this is what he said. He said, "The Lib Dems are, I'm afraid, the worst offenders when putting their 72 MPs up for interviews. I've lost count of the number of times my excellent producers have been told no one is available. Individual MPs, including Christine Jardine, etc., always helpful though." And this is something that I've not heard not just from Peter and from Talk TV, but in fact I've heard from previously from a Sky News producer as well, that they want to have Lib Dems on, that they want to give us airtime to put our case as a party to the electorate, and that for whatever reason, and I can't fathom why, but for whatever reason, MPs are not put up for interview. And so that rather makes you wonder, is the problem about us not getting the airtime that we want all the fault of the broadcasters? Or in fact, is it at least in part to do with our party ourselves? Now, I'm not one for, having to go at the staff that work at Lib Dem HQ, etc. They are not elected politicians. It's not for anyone in the party to be lambasting them. But ultimately, the people responsible for the party as a whole are those that are in charge of it, and that is ultimately the elected politicians, and the leader of the party, Ed Davey. And so, if I were him, I'd be asking serious questions, if he hasn't already, about why it is that offers for interviews are coming in to the media operation at Party HQ, and people are not being put up. Now, I've had it said to me before, previously, it's no wonder that MPs don't want to perhaps go on Talk TV. It's likely to be hostile, in quotes. Well, number one, that we shouldn't be afraid of I'm sure that our MPs, all of them, all 72, are very capable of fielding potentially tough questions and still getting the points that they want to get across, and getting across our liberal values. I'm absolutely certain that they can do that. But actually, I've heard from Peter, and again, it's something that he talked about when he appeared on the Political Frenemies podcast with me and Chris, that actually, at least on one occasion, he wanted to talk about a Lib Dem policy that he agreed with. I don't think that happens very often for Peter, but it was actually when we were talking about people getting in some kind of trouble for playing loud music on public transport, rather than listening with headphones. And he said that as someone who is frequently on public transport, that he absolutely agreed with that policy. He really wanted to get a Lib Dem onto his Talk TV show to talk about this. Couldn't for love nor money. His producers tried, he tried. The press operation of the party would not put someone up. I mean, inexplicable as far as I'm concerned. But the fact that I've previously heard it from a Sky News producer as well, which, Sky News, some may claim a more traditional, more moderate, again in quotes, news channel. I've heard from one of their producers previously that now whether this is a regular occurrence or just on one or two occasions, I don't know, but that they had previously had trouble getting Lib Dem MPs on. And this is since we've had 72 MPs. I mean, I could just about understand it, when we only had 8 for a while, that, maybe MPs would not be available, lots of pressures on their time. But, come on, folks, we have 72 MPs now. We should not be turning down offers of interviews. It just shouldn't be happening. And so, I don't know why it is happening. I wouldn't like to proffer a view on that, but it shouldn't be happening. If we have opportunities to appear on TV and radio, to get our message across, to put across our liberal values, to sell ourselves as a party, they should be taken up every time. Thanks.